Okay, hello Miss Conley. This is Hunter Thompson doing this recording. I really apologize for not having gotten this into you sooner. If you can see, I'm using the Linux operating system, and it has a different file extensions on it, so it stops me from being able to present anything at school. It's a huge pain. I'll probably just send this to you over YouTube and with all the stuff together. I also apologize if I stutter or anything, just because it's really weird talking to yourself. And I also apologize for one last thing is the thing I'm using to record this isn't the best, and it might lag a little bit. I'll also be skipping between different places just so I can go onto the videos that I have and documents that I have. Alright, so yeah, timeline 1971 to 2010 by Victor and I. So in 1971, February 9th, there was a huge earthquake in LA, and it was a massive earthquake that decimated a large portion of the city and caused many deaths and about $30 million in damage. And if here I have the video, it's Los Angeles is burning. It's performed by Bad Religion, and it's talking about the fire that was caused by this earthquake out in LA. Okay, and then in 1974, of August 8th, President Nixon resigns. Just the Watergate stuff, all the issues that have been going on with that, all the scandals. Um, Here's his address announcing the resignation, and many groups have gone over this. In 1978, of January 25th, there was a man named Richard Chase, and the vampire of Sirkins. He caused a huge disturbance in the nation. It caused great fear due to the way he killed and then cannibalized his victims. He would actually eat them and try and get the blood out of them. The crimes had such a large impact that they were actually featured in multiple places, as you can see here, such as CSI and many other places. And here's a video game. It's not school friendly, and it's called Deadlight. In it, there's an ID card. It's a survival horror. There's an ID card just for him in there. So in December 8th, 1980, John Lennon was assassinated. It was signaled the cultural end of the 60s and 70s. It was one of the first times the songs of a composer. It was also, it was also one of the first times the songs of a composer have been released after their death. His wife had been extremely sad that he had passed away, and decided that she would keep releasing his works. As you can see right here, she would keep releasing his works until for a long time. It just went on for a long time. So in 1983, January 19th, Apple released its computer called Lisa. It was important. Because it was the first personal computer that had a GUI, or a graphical user interface, much like you can see. Actually, right here, this would be called your GUI. Most computers beforehand had been just pure text. It was made for individual business owners, and it cost $9,995. It was also one of the only computers or systems that Steve Jobs was told he couldn't work on. He was ended up getting kicked off of it. In 1985, of October 18th, the Nintendo Entertainment System was released. Oh, sorry. I'll go back here really quick. This right here is a floppy disk. It's an artifact. I have it sitting here in my hand. I might take a picture of it just to, I guess, prove it to you. Or I can maybe tomorrow I'll hand it in to you, or have you see it. Again, this is another artifact right here. It's the main thing about it is the Nintendo thing that's scrawled across the top on each of those cards. So it was a huge. The NES was a huge caused a huge cultural shift. It was a sort of home gaming and consoles. It was the definitely big in the West. It caused the most were sold in America. About 34.9 million units were sold. So May 14th, 1988, there was a bus collision in Carlton, Kentucky. So it was a drunk driver went the wrong way on Interstate 71. It hit a converted school bus carrying a church youth group from Radcliffe, Kentucky. It caused 27 to be killed in the fire that came after it, and it's still the deadliest crash to date in America. It ended up causing or started the drunk driving ad campaigns. And as you can see, I just took a newspaper clipping thing from it. So in 1989, it was the George H.W. Bush was elected as president. It's after this, he soon ordered the operations in Panama and the Persian Gulf. So it started those conflicts. Here I have his inaugural address, one of his speech. So in 1990, in 1990 of April 24th, the Hubble Space Telescope was launched. It was important because it launched a new age of space exploration. Beforehand, well, now it's replaced with Kepler, but when Hubble was around, it allowed us to peer into star systems that are really far away, and it was just launched a new exploration into stars, and with certain equipment, we are able to see different wavelengths and see how the universe works even more. So on 1991, Sonic the Hedgehog was released. The game was released. It was heavily celebrated video game which assisted with a shift to handheld gaming systems. So here I have the game itself. It will take a second to load. Yep. Okay. And then in 1992 of April 29th, there was the LA riots. The LAPD were videotaped beating a black man. This was one of the first times actually that they had videotaped police officers, or one of the most that it gained such a large sensation. This sparked the LA riots, which caused nearly $1 billion in damage and caused 27 deaths. So here's a YouTube clip showing the incident. You'll see after this ad comes over. You can see them breaking into here, and then you eventually have the cops coming in and marching up and trying to secure the stores that are being broken into. So in 1996, May 20th, there was a Romer v. Evans case. It was important because it said that the Supreme Court rules against laws that restrict cities and states from protecting gay rights. So it pretty much said that the federal government could not make laws that stop any state or city from protecting the rights of gays, if it so chose. Here I have the court document itself. It's 271 pages. It's a rather lengthy document and goes in through everything that is a court docket. So January 1st, 2000, it was Y2K. Everyone's really gone over this. Since I can't show it, bring it to you physically, I pulled this I pulled this from online. So sorry, I was thing about the other artifacts. I pulled this from online, and it was a book that I found on Google Books, and it is a survival guide for the Y2K should it occur. That was the Y2K was just a fear that computer systems would fail during the turnover. So in January 23rd, 2003 was the launch of the Pioneer 10. It was a final communication, or this was the date there was final communication between Earth and the Pioneer 10. It has exited the solar system and is still going on. It was a major leap in space exploration and caused cultural improvement and hope for the future. So in 2010, there was a scandal almost that occurred in the USA. It was secret operations working with software called Stuxnet. So it was important because it caused increased tensions between the U.S. and Iran. It was used to target Iranian nuclear computers and machines themselves that were running nuclear plants to prevent the Iranians from gaining nuclear power. It was eventually fused with two other pieces of software called Fire and Minifire, and these also caused damage to an Iranian nuclear centrifuge and stole multiple things of email communications. This was, and right here what I have is only a very, very, very small portion of the source code for it. That is the code that's running in the background. Well, so here's my importance rank. I have Stuxnet on top. Then I have the Nixon resignation, George Bush, and then I have Pioneer 10, Hubble Space Telescope, and so on. You're not here to ask me a question, but my guess is why Stuxnet? In my opinion, the most important events are things that are affecting us right now. Mainly because you can learn from the past, but anyway, sorry. 2010 Stuxnet. The thing is with it is that it is why we have such tensions with Iran right now. We are caught. That's why I was able to get the source code, is because it was eventually started infecting other systems, and then you had some Russians. It was very large covert ops stuff where the Russians came in. Kaspersky, which is an antivirus software, the head of it, he had no idea. He works with Russia, but he had no idea that it was the USA at first, so it wasn't really malintentions. But they ended up finding out that it was the US who had made the Stuxnet virus, and then it ended up being that they also found out the Fire and the Minifire stuff that was stealing all the information and causing actual physical damage in just by computer code, and it is the reason why we currently have cyber warfare going on in the background. You occasionally see it pop up in the media, and it's one of the large things that it's the largest thing that is currently affecting us out of this entire list. So that is the end of my presentation. I'll try and get some of the artifact stuff to you tomorrow, and I'll load this up on YouTube so that you can view it.